we're such in rushes most of the time, but I mean, we really got to have those moments where we invest in ourselves in order to have lasting radiance. I'm going to give you some guidance. So, this particular guide that I'm going to share with you all is going to be very simple, okay? The guide to lasting radiance. I'm going to stick to 3 points. One, color. Two, texture. The third one, self care routines. Now, you have to have lasting. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. So let's start with the colors and textures and invest in yourself with beautiful colors. So how do you do these things? Whether it's reds, pinks, blues, any color that brings you something that helps you figure out your daily thoughts and is the reason why you glow is a nice way to invest in yourself. I know everybody's probably not going to get that. I know that that's probably something that's just going to be a bit much, but that's just what you need to do. Okay. It's really just as simple as that. There's no getting around it. You can't be lit around the bush. None of those things. Invest in the colors that bring you radiance so that you can have those in the long haul. And therefore, you're constantly pulling from that particular moment. And that way, you practice your lasting radiance. It's really not that difficult. Take care of your garments, treat them well, make sure that you're not just stuffing them in places all the time. I know I'm a corporate for this myself. So I try my best to hang and get as many hangers as possible. Steam is always a really great one in retail. The dry cleaners is another one. Professionally cleaned is another one. Sometimes people don't always want to just run them through the washing machines and things of that nature. And just be very mindful. You have to just really be mindful in order to make these things last and help you with your lasting radiance. That's just what it is. And then you have the colors and your textures and your garments. Some of them are so necessarily delicate that you can't really just treat it any kind of way. This is a t-shirt. This is just a little crappy Cleveland Browns t-shirt that I just ironed or kept, but you see there's no holes in it. It's really nothing that's really. I'm not knocking anybody else that has t-shirts with holes in it. I've been there, done that. And sometimes it is encouraged to actually still keep those garments. Some women say otherwise, but I have heard that it is okay to keep your garments no matter how beat up that they are. One corporate of these in particular, I have a document folder that I probably have for 10 years. And I have yet to get rid of it. I want to say maybe 2015. And it's falling apart. But I have yet to throw it inside of the dumpster, the trash bin, to the trash can. It still flops and closes just as well as it did on the first day that I bought it. So you really just want to be mindful. And then the colors and textures always help you figure out what you want to look like. So that's really where you have to place most of your focus. Do I want to look like a hoochie? Do I want to look sophisticated? When I woke up today, I asked myself, what did I want to look like? And I said to myself, make me sophisticated. I said, okay. I put her hair up. Okay. I have my arm press t-shirt here. I can tuck my bottom piece in if I like. And I'm not really looking to turn everybody else's head, just my own head. Okay. And that's really just where it is and where it's at. I'm not trying to be whatever and so bougie and all these type of things that everybody sometimes associates with dressing well. But the fact and truth of reality is just really about presenting yourself and doing so no matter what's really necessarily going on and taking place. And that's just what it is. I'm not saying I have to keep it tucked in for whatever reasons, but as you can see, I mean, you could just play with it and moving around, and that's just what it is. You don't have to do every other thing just because other people is doing what's considered cool at that particular point in moment in time. You always want to radiate things that are authentic and true to you and who you are, what you're thinking about, how your mindset and games are going and playing around. That's what you do. It's not about what everybody else is doing. That's another way to have lasting radiance. It's really to invest in you and yourself, your thinking, your books, your equipment. Make it all about me. That's what you do. And then the last one is going to be your self care routines. In order to have lasting radiance, you need to have a self care regimen that really allows you to exfoliate, have a nice diet, have people around you who care, and be in environments. I said this before, in order to have a detox spirit, you really want to make sure that your environment is really up to par. And when it's not, take inventory of those things and moments that causes your environment to feel less than. And then practice the quantum leaps if you like. I know sometimes that's really a biggie right now, but it's got to be some kind of rave as a point as to why it's taken off so heavily. So maybe try to envision yourself in environments once you realize what the points were that was causing your environment to feel less than, and then take those and find comfort in it. I know it sounds silly and it's difficult, but find comfort in the fact that you have pinpointed some issues. So that way, the universe and nature can give you credit for doing those things and then go ahead on and write them. So that because you spent energy in finding what the problems are, that way the universe can understand and sense that energy and vibe that you did those things. And now they can kind of either move out of the way so that you can maneuver through the crowd and go ahead on and still accomplish what is up to par based off any points that are resonating with who you are and what it is that you're thinking. Because when it's all about you or me, and however you want to conclude those thoughts and points, then you're going to understand, okay, I don't have a self-care routine, but this self-care routine allows myself to experience lasting radiance, and it's only available here. And I've pinpointed the reasons why this environment feels less up to par than I may have liked, but the one over here did. Okay, now how can we quantum leap and jump to this piece and not this one any longer, that no longer is serving? And once you pinpoint why this environment is no longer serving us because some of the points are less than up to par, now you quantum leap. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't even know what the pain, whatever the points that make this environment less than up to par is and or was. So therefore you have no choice but to quantum leap because you already noticed the pain points. Well, not necessarily things that bring us pain, because I'm not saying environments are painful necessarily, so to speak. It can be our thought processes that makes us want to enjoy lasting radiance. And when we feel that our environment has causes us otherwise, there's a moment there. Did you almost see this like a switch? Like we take the light bulb and we click it on. Now the environment has become derogatory. And nobody wants that. Everybody wants the finer things in life. And immediately when they're identified as points that bring us anything other than what we want, like lasting radiance, they must go. And that's a law. And all is but a law that cannot err. Internal energies and laws and thoughts and thinking patterns is just as important as the ones that are in the bill up on Washington. And if you think not, you just don't know. But you better ask somebody. See you later. All right, so let's talk about a few things for a second. So let's discuss case studies, and let's discuss, and these are all going to be uh like hypothetical uh ideal spots that take place with transformations and these processes. So let's say Suzanne comes into our moment and she goes to our website and she books her page. And so I'm going to walk you through what takes place. So Suzanne comes. She's struggling with finding out how she wishes to present herself. She's got a great career. She's landed everything that she's been dreaming of. But lately, she's found herself in some kind of psychological rut. And so she comes into our kind of sort of sit down session, and we have a second. And I ask her a few questions. Okay, what is going on? What is taking place that makes you such a high achiever feel as though you're in a rut? What can possibly be taking place that makes you feel anything less than glowing and radiant? What's the problem? And so she comes in, yeah, well, I'm a busy mom and I have a full-fledged career, and I just have not been taking the time out to really practice and pour into myself these energies that are self-healing so that I can continuously glow and show up in my career the way that I want to. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Okay. So let's figure out some moments here. So let's just decompress. Let's just take some moments to figure out how we can address these issues. So if you're a high profile career type of driven personality, but yet you still are rearing your children. Okay, I get it. I totally understand. It's difficult. Babies are high energy. They're constantly into something. So that means the cleanup is a constant. So it leaves very little time for ourselves. So this is why we have to take small baby steps. Small steps can be just allowing yourself to say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops, make myself a cup of coffee. Period. Nobody's going to interfere with this one cup. And you set that intention, and that's what goes out and takes place. Now you feel refreshed. Now you know I can take some time out to myself without any issues, even if it's something as small as a simple cup of coffee, a cup of tea, something that's a latte, a caramel tea, something that's got a little hint of cinnamon in it. Just one small token is really enough to set the trajectory towards I'm a high profile young lady who also has a home that I run smoothly. Plus now I can also realize that I also can go down and do what I need to do, even when that even means just also I enjoy cups of tea. And it's just a simple, small thing. But how many people have you really been around that allows you to really experience these things and express a sincere joy, almost childlike, with the biggest thankful expression of a smile that you could have ever mustered on your face as you have these sips? I mean, just picture it. It's steaming, it's flavorful, it's aromaful, it's just really hitting the spot. Okay. Your husband comes in, and instead of just brushing off any requests, would you like me to do something for you? It's a no, honey, I'm fine, I'm straight, I'm good. Small steps. Well, my feet hurt. Can I have a foot rub? Or small steps. Honey, how you doing today? Are you okay? Role play. Instead of just wait, no, I'm fine, baby. I'm good. Um, well, been on my feet all day and my head kind of sort of start to have a little ache in the back. You happen to have any Tylenol? Yay or nay doesn't matter. Hopefully, of course, we're going to lean towards the yes so you can kind of address the aches and pain. Or, hey, honey, how you doing today? Is there anything I could do to help out your evening routine? Instead of, no, should you always ask before you care? How about, yeah, sure, small steps. Well, to be honest, well, you know what I mean. And I know people are like, man, this is oh my god, just I can just hear it now, just fighting tooth and nail. But simply, yeah, can you take so and so down for a nap or to do supper or something while I go and prep for an upcoming case that I may have within the next week or two? Simple, small things. Yeah, sure, honey. Oh, thank you. And learn how to take small moments for you. So that way, there is no disconnect because you're with who you feel your disconnect with. So that's the client testimonial where the transformation before and after. Now our client Suzanne has learned that she's important, that she's worthy of her glow by doing these things. And therefore, now she doesn't feel guilty for reaching out or expecting people to treat her this way. Now she realizes this is a normal, that this is something that is really helpful to all of them in their household and in their community, on her job and in her career. So therefore, now there's really no issue to shy away from her husband or to shy away from being able to tell her children no. Sit down and destroy this house, but I'm gonna have this cup of tea and I start re-energize myself and then look a mess, somebody get a spank. And go with that and allow that energy to cause you to glow and rest. As a woman, you have that right. All right, y'all, what's popping? So I'm glad you brought more here. Thank you for coming. I hope y'all are doing good. Like and subscribe. So how to build a capsule wardrobe that empowers you. Stick to what you know. If you know that your color is a certain color, do not deviate from it. Period. Make your capsule wardrobe staples that revolves around this color. Okay. And that's first and foremost. And then maybe if you even want to do some repeats, you want to wear the same things over and over again, do that. You really don't have to make it complicated. It really doesn't need to be that difficult. It doesn't. It's really just that simple. All you have to do is pick something that works for you and do not choose to deviate from it. I mean, it's really just that simple. There's no point in deviating from things and going with the multitudes or against other entities thinking, you doing something better than somebody else. That's going to really just be a waste of time. And that's not going to help you build a capsule wardrobe that empowers you. So I say that to say that whenever we are really focusing on making ourselves a little more inclined to dress well because we're curious about what's taking place and going on, especially with ourselves and within. So when you really have colors that work and make you aware of what you're thinking about, why would you not want to stick to those colors? Why not embody certain thoughts and ideas that really allow you to come across with your authentic, empowered thoughts? And that's just how you build your wardrobe, your capsule. Let's say you want to do cashmere sweaters and your go-to is a certain color. I always go to black because black is such a powerful color. Something about black just allows us to experience authority or some type of moment that we really just are giving that type of energy, and it's really no coming back from that. That's just what is going to necessarily happen and take place. So let's say, for an example, somebody's coming in, Suzanne is here, and she wants to know, well, how do I build a capsule wardrobe that empowers me to go before these judges as a high career attorney, high profile attorney? Okay. Start with what you want to give off. When you in front of these judges and these other high profile, maybe clients who are charging you, thousands of dollars a head to beat whatever cases, you want to give off that type of authoritative woman, that energy that says, okay, I'm here, but I'm not here to play no games with nobody's feelings. I'm here to figure out what the truth is. I'm here to get to the bottom of whatever this case has presented myself with. And that's what it's going to be today. And that's what it is. So now that I'm here, I need to give off certain types of energy so that message is conveyed based off what I'm wearing. And it's just as simple as that. So the entire moment that you have those thoughts going through your mind and you pulling out your capsule pieces, boom, 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 you pulling them right off the rack, right off your closet as you do whatever, you knocking the wrinkles out. And let's say you going for the pair of trousers with a nice fitted blouse and maybe a straight up black blazer. You got some lower heel pumps on. You get to be moving throughout the day in order to do whatever needs to be done. And once you kind of sort of put those looks into pieces and those moments fall into different places, maybe you have a few pair of diamond studs that just pop in right there, so it gives you a bit of sparkle and some shine. Those are your wardrobe capsule pieces that empower you to do your job and do your job well. And how do you want to get to those moments? And it's really just as simple as to taking care of them, making sure your diamonds are shining. They have this little solutions and things like that that it kind of keeps it nice and up to par. Do those things. So by the time it pops out, you shining, you radiating. You not there to play no games. You there to go ahead and figure out what's going off so that you can go ahead back forth and do whatever you need to do and cross off whatever was on that type of checklist that has to deal with your caseload when it comes to dealing with your clients in that attorney spirit. Or let's say maybe you got a cup of coffee over there that's on the table waiting for you. And ain't nobody gonna allow you to cool it down based on some hook raw because somebody else can't close the dang on deals. We do not have to want to find ourselves bothered with that type of things. As women, we just allow ourselves to go with any old type of thing most of the time. But high profile women understand that when I'm really in this idea that I'm really not here to be able to let anybody else just have a way with what it is that I'm thinking about, you come across different. And sometimes you have to dare to allow yourself to come across as different. That's just what it's gonna be. And when anybody else has anything else that's less than those type of ideas to say, then just realize that those people are just going to be just that. Those people who got always something derogatory to say. But as you show up and you give off that energy that your capsule wardrobe has allowed you to say, I'm a high profile attorney that close cases, that wins on the daily, because I am a glow ticket topic type of woman. And every time that I get ready to close my deal, I write off something else that goes on, and ain't nobody else gonna be able to take that from nothing else that I do. And that's something that's in and of itself is going to empower you continuously throughout that type of career. And how is it that you can get to such a state and have to figure out how do I build these type of things? You need sweaters on the cold days. You need ones you could just throw over your blazer, tie around your waist so that when you get a second, you want to take your blazer off and you pull your sweater on and you sip your cup of coffee that's been cooling over there, taking a little too long in these last 5 minutes with this stubborn client of yours over here who can't admit that they're guilty. Then all of a sudden, then you got some more issues to pop off. And again, the longer that it takes you to sip your coffee, I'm sure the probably more irritated you're going to become. Either way, I got to cut you. And now, and it's sad because that's the type of career path that some entities really gravitate to. And that's just what it's going to be. That's just what it is. So, as you go forth into those type of moments, that's what your wardrobe is going to speak. And that's why your high profile type of kick butt type of entity. So that's how the capsule is going to resonate. And that's just what this particular capsule is going to resonate with this particular client. That's it's just really just that simple. That means it's really just as simple as that. All right, anyway, I hope this answered your question. Okay.